So I love cooking and I love coaching. So when this came up at the staff meeting, this sharing of recipes, I thought I combine the two and teach you how to cook the perfect omelet. Interestingly enough, I learned this technique recently and it is perfect because I used to screw up omelets all the time. Pan would get too hot, it would burn the omelet, and then, and the omelets dried out. I used the wrong size pan, etc. So it's a pretty cool technique that makes sure you get those omelets done perfectly every time. So what we're gonna do is this. So believe it or not, we're gonna turn the oven on to about 270. So hit a little bake. It's pretty low. So we're gonna finish the omelet actually in the oven. So it's pretty smart because what happens is usually the bottom of the omelet gets done and then it's pretty liquidy on the top. So you just keep letting it go, letting it go, letting it go. The bottom gets a little browned, which I don't think is very good because it gets dried out. To get the top cooked, you can put a lid on and stuff, but still it's too long on the bottom. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna get the bottom cooked. We're gonna throw it in the oven. We're gonna let it finish in there. The key here is low too. So oven's ready to roll. Oh, I didn't hit on actually. So the pan is gonna be on low, or 1 or 2 on the gas stove, and then the oven's gonna be pretty low too. And then we're gonna finish it in there. So the ingredients are pretty simple. So I got pretty excited about the salmon thing too in the meeting. So we're gonna do a little smoked salmon. So what we have ingredient wise is we have some, right here, let's turn this, yeah, smoked salmon, just some capers, some finely chopped onion, and this is actually cream cheese with a little lemon and caper juice mixed in to thin it out a little bit. And then obviously you have your scrambled eggs. We're gonna use about a 9 or 10 inch nonstick pan is perfect for 2 eggs. I get cheap pans. They last a long time and then you just throw them away and get more cheap pans. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense investing in a pan that gets beat up. And then what you should invest in though is a good knife. I use this knife every day. It might've been $110, but it's one of the best investments for something that you use every day. You should spend a little money on it. Get a good knife. Okay, so what we're gonna do. So we're gonna get this pan on, we're gonna put it on about level 2. We're gonna let that heat up. You can use butter or just nonstick spray, just a little bit probably more healthy with the nonstick spray. Spray that up in there, okay? We're gonna let that heat up a little bit. The oven is ready to go, which is important. With this salmon too, it's smoked salmon, so I don't want it to cook too much, so I'm gonna wait till the very last second to put it on, which is pretty important. Okay, so the pan has been heating up for about, I don't know, probably 5 minutes. It's on level 3. Flame is pretty low, so it's hot enough. You're gonna think it's not hot enough, but it is. It just takes a little bit longer. So I'm gonna pour the eggs in here. What I like to do is just swirl them around a little bit, just to kind of even the cooking. Kind of gets the bottom going. Once this bottom is cooked, I'm gonna throw it directly into the oven, which is the technique that allows it to be a little bit more forgiving. So this hasn't been in the pan too long, probably literally 2 minutes. To check to see the doneness of the bottom, just shake it a little bit and you kind of see the stuff moving on the top. It's like moving on the top, but the bottom isn't moving, so you could see that the bottom is pretty well cooked. When you see that happen, you're gonna put it right in the oven pretty quickly. So right from here, I go down, throw her in the oven, okay? I'm gonna let that ride a little bit now. I'm gonna look to see. I'm gonna look in here very long, but you can see pretty much the top is a little moist. But now we're gonna put in all the other ingredients. So we're gonna I'm gonna put the cream cheese, the salmon, and everything in there, and then throw it in for another minute or so. Then we'll flip it. One thing that's important is I like to put the ingredients lined up with the pan handle. So when I flip it, it comes out good. You'll see that later. So put the capers on a little bit there. So put all the stuff inside. I'm gonna put it back in the oven for just about a minute. I mean, it's not very long. I can grab the handle. The handle's not even too hot. Okay, so now we're gonna the omelet's basically done. So now we're gonna flip it onto the pan. So I like to use this little spatula thing here. I had some onion on there. But I'm gonna do a little tri-fold flip. So flip it here one time. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip it onto the plate one more time. So we gotta get it moving here. Okay, so we're here. We're gonna flip it again, right onto the plate. Slide it down, just like this. Here, looks a little sloppy, but when you put it on there, you just do a little reconstruction here. So it's like an athletic trainer. We're gonna put this omelet back together. We're not gonna use tape or anything, but we're gonna fix it up a little bit. So athletic trainer gets in there, fix up the omelet, and there is a perfect omelet.